Hello, so these questions ask us to take a big number and just think about that number in a different way. So, for example, this says write two different ways to expand and show 503,842. Write your answers in the blanks, use the place value charts to help you, then prove your work by multiplying. So when it says show it two ways, here's what it means. We have the same number here, but first they want us to make this number with just thousands, tens, and ones. All right, so we'll just use these. And then down here it wants us to make the same number but only with hundreds and ones. So you don't even get to use the thousands. Okay, there's a shortcut and it's actually not too bad. So let's go ahead and get started. So 503,842. First of all, we're going to put this into the place value chart. So 2, 4, 8, comma, 3, 0, 5. Always start on the right when you put it into the place value chart. How many thousands do we have here? I can hear it in the number when I say it out loud. 503,842. 503,842. How many thousands? 503. 503,842. And we can test this with a shortcut. So here's how it works. You start to the highest at the highest place and then go down to whatever they asked you for. They asked you for thousands. So go down to the thousands and stop and circle. 503 thousands. Same strategy. Let's use that for the tens. So we have an 842 here. Forget about the 2 because, we'll just use ones for that. But we have 840 that we're working with, right? So how can you represent 840 with tens? Well, start here because we already took care of these guys. Go down to the tens place because that's what it asked us for. Stop and circle. 84 tens. That makes sense because think about it. If you have 10 tens, 10 tens is 100. 20 tens is 200. 30 tens is 300. 40 tens is 400. 50 tens is 500. 60 tens is 600. 70 tens is 700. And 80 tens is 800. 80 of these gets you 800. And then you still have 40. Well, 10, 20, 30, 40. So 84 tens will get you 840. And then we have 2 ones left over. So we would do 2 ones. Now, this part says multiply it out to prove your answer. Here's what that means. We said we can make this number with 503 thousands, so we need to prove it. 503 times 1,000. We said we also need 84 tens, so 84 times 10. And then we need 2 ones as well to make this. So now we're just going to multiply these. Multiplying by 1,000 is really, really easy. All you do is take the number, 503, and write it. It will be in the answer. And then just take your zeros. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 503 times 1,000 is 503,000. Same strategy here when you multiply by a 10. Just take the 0. So 84, and then the 0. There you go. And then finally, when you multiply by 1, the number stays the same. Any number times 1 is itself. So we have a 503,000 here. We have 84 tens, which got us 840, and then we have 2 ones, which got us 2. And now what you would do is you would just add this up. So we would line it up, making sure it's lined up on the right. And then we add it to prove that we got the same number that we started with. 2, 4, 8, 3, 0, 5. So 503 thousands, 84 tens, and 2 ones gets us 503,842. Now let's do it in a different way. So same number, But this time they're saying we have to represent it with only hundreds and ones. So we don't even get any thousands blocks. We have to use this. So think about it. You would have to use this just to make a thousands block, which would get you into your thousands place. And then you need 503 of those just to get you to the 503,000. That's a lot of hundreds blocks. Good thing we have our shortcut. So we start by putting it into our place value chart, starting on the right hand side. No matter what number you're working with, if you're on a different worksheet, you should still be able to follow these steps. Okay, it's asking for hundreds, which means I'm just going to go down to the hundreds place and stop and circle. Start at the top, go down to the hundreds and stop and circle. So you can make this part of the number with 5, 0, 3, 8. Ignore that comma. It's going to change now. 1, 2, 3, comma. So if I had 5,038 of these, then I could make the number 503,800. Now we have 42 left over. Well, it's not going to let us make 42 like this. It said we have to only use ones, not tens. But look at this. If you counted these, there we go, sorry about that. If you counted these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you could see how many ones are in here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 2. Also with our place value chart, you could do the shortcut. So start here, because you already took care of that. Go to the ones place and stop and circle. So we have 42 ones. Now we're going to multiply it out to prove our answer. Well, we said 5,035 so we need to write that. 5,038 hundreds. So 5,038 times 100. And then we said 42 ones, so we need to write 42 times 1. Okay? And then add that together and prove that it gets you back here. So multiplying by 100 is really easy. You take the number the way it was. So we've got 5,038, so just put in 5038, skip the comma this time. And then you just take the two zeros, 1, 2, and slide them over. Now put the comma in, 1, 2, 3, comma. 42 times 1 is easy because any number times 1 is itself. So we've got 42 times 1 is 42. Now we add these up. And we can see that 5,038 hundreds and 42 ones gets us 503,842. So that's how we multiply it out to prove our answer. Alright, now if you're working on the other side is like this, and it's actually pretty easy. So this one says, what number has 53 ones, 40 tens, and 124 thousands? All this is this part where we multiply out. We're just going to multiply this. So if we were working with 53 of these, and 40 of these, and 124 of these, what number would we get? Well, let's just do a little bit of multiplication. 53 ones, you say? 53 times 1. 40 tens? Alright. 40 times 10. And you're asking for 124 thousands. We can handle that. 124 times 1,000. Not too bad. Do this multiplication, add up what you get, and then you're done. So 53 times 1, super easy because anything times 1 is itself. So 53 times 1 is 53. 40 times 10, anytime you're multiplying by 10, you just write the number and then put in that 0. So write the 40. 40 already comes with a 0, so don't forget that one. And then add this 0, just pops right over, 400. And then 124 times 1,000, again, you just write this number and then you put in 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now we're going to add these up. But you can see this is already in expanded form for us. So if you know how to just look at a number in expanded form and then see it in standard form, then you're doing pretty well. Here's our number, 124,000 plus 400 plus 53. That's what we ended up with. And then to put this in standard form, you can just look at it and kind of figure it out, or you can line them up and add them, because expanded form, you expand it out, but these are addition symbols here, plus signs, so you are adding them back together. 400, 53, there's our answer. The number 124,453 has 53 ones. There they are right there. 53 ones. 40 tens, which is great because 40 tens makes 400, because 40 times 10 is 400. So there's your 40 tens right there. And then 124 thousands, and you can see it right there. 124,000. All right? So this is your answer. This is the number that has 53 ones, 40 tens, and 124 thousands.